Hi, I'm Phil Ciccio, and I want to talk to you today about the use of your intellect. You know, we talk about our intellectual mind. Most people have never really grasped the concept of this. You know, we understand our conscious mind, and some people understand a little bit about their subconscious mind, but for the most part, most people don't understand how the two together can literally change your life, change your business, your income, your relationships, and also your health. So I want to share with you a graphic of what the mind looks like and how it works. And we've been sharing this with our company. We've been sharing this with people all over the world, and it's literally changed their lives and it's changed their business. This graphic here is called the mind, and I want to share with you what it looks like. If you take a look at the top circle, this represents your mind, and it's the larger circle, and the bottom circle represents the body, which is, as you can see, is the smaller circle. This is really done intentionally because up until now we've given all of our conscious awareness to our physical body and our physical results, when in reality everything that we have in our life is a manifestation or expression of our mind manifested through our body. So that's why we want to express the mind as a much larger part of our being. Now in this graphic you'll notice that the mind looks like your head, okay? But it isn't really this way. It's just a graphic illustration so you can understand how the process of thought going into your conscious mind through your subconscious mind into your body really works, okay? So just take a look at the line that goes right across the middle, okay? This separates our conscious mind from our subconscious mind. Now the upper half of this circle is your conscious mind. This is where your thinking happens, okay? This is where you reason with things. Thoughts come in and you can accept the thought or you can reject the thought at the conscious level, okay? Below the line, where you see here in the graphic, is the subconscious mind. This is your emotional mind or your feeling mind. Here's where your memory is stored. This is where your emotions lie. This is where your belief systems have been created. And that's where all of your beliefs and inner beliefs and conditioning are all formed in your subconscious mind. Well, what we do is we create a thought, okay, and we allow this thought to come into our conscious mind. And what ends up happening is we have an opportunity here, because we have our conscious faculty developed as adults, we can accept this idea or this thought, or we can reject it. Now, most adults just accept everything that comes into their conscious mind, right? News, radio, TV, your coworkers, your boss, your friends and relatives, bringing stuff into your consciousness, and we just accept everything that comes in. When we have this incredible ability as humans to reject these ideas, especially as adults, as children we can't reject the ideas because our conscious faculty really hasn't been developed yet. What we typically do is, as children, we just allow everything to come in, and we become conditioned and programmed by our parents and our grandparents, our teachers, our ministers, literally programming us, and we become a product of their ideas, their beliefs, and their habits. So what I want to share with you right now with the conscious mind is that you have the ability to reject an idea that you don't really like. You can reject the idea, or you can accept an idea that you really like, or a thought that you really like. Once you've accepted this thought and you allow it to go past that line in the middle and go and get impressed into your subconscious mind, it starts to create a feeling. Now this can be a positive feeling or a negative feeling, a good feeling or a bad feeling, depending on the thought. So for instance, if you're thinking about a loved one, it gives you a good feeling, makes you feel really good, makes your body feel good. If you're thinking about something that you dislike or some negative thing that's happening in our economy or in our world, right, it makes you feel bad and it puts you in a negative place. These two feelings are what are controlling your life, controlling your business, controlling your ability to earn money, and they're controlling your relationships and your health. These two different feelings, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. And those feelings derive from whatever you're thinking about, whatever your dominating thoughts are. So a thought comes into your conscious mind, you allow it to go through and into your subconscious mind, it creates a feeling. That feeling moves through your body, and your body then acts based on the feelings that we get from the thought, okay? So now your body starts to act. So if it's a good feeling, it acts good, it's upright, you know, maybe you have a good skip in your step. If the thought's negative, maybe you start to droop, your shoulders are drooping, maybe you're expressing a negative emotion with your facial expressions or with your words, okay? And those actions, okay, that are happening based on the thoughts and the feelings are creating the results that you're getting in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your finances. All your results are derived from the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. Thoughts, feelings, actions produce your results. It's very, very important to understand this. Most people, they get into a negative feeling because they focus on their current results. So for instance, if right now you're not having a lot of success in some area of your life, it's very, very simple that most people will be looking at the results saying, you know, I don't have enough money, or I'm lonely, or I'm not happy in the environment I'm in at work, or whatever it might be, and they focus every day on the results. And they create a dominating thought of this result. That thought creates a feeling. Those feelings move through your body and they produce actions, and those actions are producing the result over again. And this is a vicious cycle. It continues to happen over and over and over again. And people can't understand why their life won't change. It's sort of like the idea when people talk about someone who's insane, that definition of insanity that we've all heard about, where somebody does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result. Well, it's the same thing when you're thinking about your results over and over again and expecting a different result. It'd be like taking a camera and taking a picture of your result, and when the film is processed and you look at it, you say, you know what, I don't like this result. So you take the camera again and you take another picture of your result, and then as you develop the film and you look at the picture, it's the same exact result, and you can't figure out why you're getting the same results. When in reality, all you have to do is take the camera and point it towards what you want rather than what you have, take a picture of that and watch that manifest in your life. I had a woman once tell me, I was sharing that idea with her, and it was kind of funny. She said, you know, that happened to me. I was taking a picture of myself. You know, a lot of people now today, they hold up a camera and they take a picture of themselves. She took a picture of herself and she didn't like it. So she deleted it, and then she takes another picture of herself and she says, that didn't come out good either, and she deleted it. And she did it like 5 or 6 times. She kept saying, this picture's horrible. When she realized, she said it wasn't the picture that was horrible, okay? It was actually her physical, the way she was looking at her hair. She didn't like the way it was, maybe what she was dressed with, what she was wearing, maybe the makeup she was wearing. So she was taking her results and taking a picture of it and thinking it was going to change. It would never change. She had to change. So we started talking about this. So the idea behind this is that you've got to change the way you think to get the results that you want. Now, most people, they focus on what's going on the outside, right? They use their physical senses. And our physical senses, for most people, they think it's our higher faculty, but our physical senses are really not that powerful, really. Most people are living through them. So we can hear, smell, taste, touch, right? And we can see. And when we use our physical senses to dictate our life, we're being controlled and we're also being limited, okay? Because when we're focusing on what's going on the outside and we're using our physical senses rather than our intellectual faculties, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, what ends up happening is that we start limiting ourselves to what other people might think or believe or say. And also, because we see through our inner belief systems, it also will limit us, okay? Now, our physical senses are hardwired to our conscious mind like little antenna. And all of our lives we've been gathering all this information from outside sources coming into our consciousness, right? People telling us what to do, what to think, what to say, how to believe, how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, right? Controlling us, conditioning us to become who we are today. Successful people ignore what's going on the outside. They don't live through their physical senses, okay? They live through their intellectual faculties, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. Let me give you an idea of what I mean by living through your physical senses. Because of our conditioning, we all see things differently. So for instance, one of our intellectual faculties, okay, is perception. And perception is really our point of view, the way we see things, the way we see the world. And because we're using our physical senses of our eyes, our sight, to see things, we see things differently based on the way we believe. So let me give you an example of this. I'll tell you a quick funny story. There's a gentleman and he owns a shoe company, okay? And this shoe company is here in the United States, and he's very, very successful, and he wants to expand into another country. So he decides to send 2 of his salesmen to another country. He says, listen, we're going to go to this country, we're going to start marketing these shoes. They're the most amazing shoes in the world, and we're going to start having a global impact. So he sends these 2 salesmen over to another country. They get there, they get off the plane, and they're walking around the airport, and they look around, and everybody at the airport is barefoot. So these 2 salesmen are like, okay, this is kind of strange, everyone's barefoot. So they say, maybe it's just an airport thing. Let's go out into the city and see if everybody's wearing shoes out there. So they walk out of the airport, they get out to the city, and they look around, and lo and behold, everybody's barefoot. So one of the salesmen picks up his phone and he calls the owner of the company and says, hey, listen, I'm not sure, you know, what you did for due diligence, what your research was, or what you were thinking, but you sent us to a country where they don't even wear shoes. You've got to get us some tickets back because we can't make any money here. This is crazy. In the meantime, the other salesman picks up his phone, he dials the owner, and the owner picks up and he says, hey, listen, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but we got here and there isn't anybody wearing shoes in the entire city. This is amazing. You're going to have to send as many shoes as you can over here because we're going to make millions and millions of dollars. It's an unbelievable opportunity for us. You see, the perception was different between the two people based on their inner belief systems, right? One saw opportunity and one saw lack and limitation. They were both seeing through their physical senses of their eyes, however, they both saw a different thing. So we have to increase our ability to use our perception in a way that will win. You know, I was reading an article recently, actually in the Washington Post. There was a gentleman that was standing outside of Metro Station. This is where most people go to get on the train. And there were about 2,000 people that were going to be getting on the train that morning. And he was standing outside of Metro Station. He was playing a violin, and he had his violin case open where people could drop money in. Now, because of our conditioning and the way that we believe and the way that we think, you know, most people look at this person as somebody who's just maybe an upgrade of a beggar, right? You know, where he's actually providing a service to collect a few dollars. And some people, you know, will walk by a gentleman like that or a woman that's out there doing something like that and not even think about it. So this gentleman was out there, and he starts playing the violin. He's playing 6 versions of Bach pieces, okay? And all these people are walking by. In about 4 minutes, finally one gentleman slowed down and stopped to listen for a second, and then he realized that he was running behind, and he took off. Okay? He didn't even leave any money, he just left. About 6 minutes in, a woman stops real quickly, looks, throws some money in, and walks by. Didn't even pay much attention to it, just threw some money in. A few minutes later, a mother with her child is walking by, and the child stops, and the mother's dragging the child. And he's like, I want to listen. And she's like, we got to go, we got to go. And they just walk through, and they walk by. He pulled the child away. She pulled the child away. And this kept happening throughout the course of the next 45 minutes. Most of the time, children would stop, and their parents would pull them through. Eventually, over time, one guy stopped, and he paid attention for a few minutes. He put some money in his case, and he walked off. After about an hour, guy was done packing up his violin case, okay? And he packed up his violin case. There was no applause. There was nobody asking for autographs, nothing like that. His hour was done. He had collected $32. $32. Most people didn't even pay attention to him. Why not? Because of our physical senses, the way that we think, the way that we're conditioned to believe, okay? I'm going to share this story with you about this gentleman. This gentleman, his name was Joshua Bell. He's a world-renowned violinist, one of the best in the world. The violin that he was holding and playing was a $3.5 million violin. The music that he was playing was absolutely amazing. Can you imagine walking through Metro Station and you have one of the world's greatest violinists playing the violin, sharing this beautiful music, and you don't even stop for a second to take a listen. You don't even realize how beautiful it is. The reason why we don't realize how beautiful it is because of our conditioning. We don't think he's anybody important. He had just played in Boston 2 days before that, filled a theater in Boston, sold out, and the tickets averaged $100 a ticket. This is what happens when people are conditioned a certain way. We walk by, we see something through our paradigms or through our inner belief systems. We don't think anything of it. We walk by, we miss out on such beautiful things. Imagine walking by one of the most incredible violinists in the world, playing a $3.5 million violin, playing some of the most beautiful music ever written, okay? And not even spending some time to just sit there and listen. What was more important, right? We're rushing off, we're not even paying attention. Imagine having that opportunity. That's because most of us live through our physical senses, and those physical senses are controlled by our inner belief systems. So let me share with you another one, the will. The will is focus, concentration, developing your will. Most people think the will is, imposing brute force on somebody, right? Well, it isn't. This is not what I'm talking about when I talk about the will. We talk about the will as being focused, having a focused concentration on what it is that you want. So you have a goal and you're laser focused on it. Remember as a child maybe rolling up a piece of paper and using it like a telescope, and all you can see is whatever you're looking at and everything else is blocked out. That's like using your focus, right? That's what's building your faculty of your will is all about. Ignoring everything that's going on around you, the people that are telling you it's not possible, everything that's going on in your environment, and just focusing on what it is that you want. Napoleon said this the best. He said, I focus on my objective. All obstacles must give way. See, that's intense focus. And that's what you have to have, that kind of will, in order to get the things that you want in your life. Okay, another intellectual faculty is our imagination. I love our imagination. Most people never really use this because as children we were told not to. We were told to stop dreaming and get your head out of the clouds. We've imagined all these wonderful things that we could do with our life, and people told us to knock it off, stop dreaming. So as adults we grow up and we literally don't dream anymore. We don't imagine. But imagination is the key because that's what creates that image, that first picture that you need to create the feelings that are going to move your body into action. So it's very, very important to use your imagination. Think about this. Imagination, to most people, they don't see the power in it because they don't think it's real, because there's nothing on the physical plane when we're imagining something. But imagination, ideas are almost real. They're so close to real, okay? I mean, think about this. This studio that I'm in first had to be an imagination. It had to be a picture in someone's mind. It was almost real, and the person was able to make it real by bringing it into our physical world. The car that you drive, the home that you're in, everything that's in our physical world first started out as an imagination, as an idea that was almost real. And as humans, we're able to take that picture and we're able to make it real. Okay, through this process, what we think about comes about. Our thoughts literally become our reality. You can create an image. You can get emotionally involved with it. If you hold on to that image long enough with your will and you get emotionally involved with it, guess what happens? It has to manifest into form, because your body will take action on the idea, and where there's an action, there's an equal reaction. Okay? And that equal reaction is what's called the law of attraction. And this is how we bring things into our life. Think, feel, act. The reaction, next thing you know, we've manifested what we want in our life. So you've got to use your imagination to think of big, beautiful ideas, things that you want in your life that most people might laugh at you about. If they're laughing at you and if they're telling you you're nuts, right, that's probably a really good thought, and you want to act on that. You want to hold that with your will, okay? Then we have our memory, okay? Our memory, most people use their memory to hurt them. They go back into their memory bank and they start thinking about all the negative things that have happened in their life. You know, maybe they had some losses, or maybe a bad relationship, or maybe they didn't do well in a certain aspect of their life. And they use their memory to really hurt them rather than to use it for something that's so powerful, right? You can go back into your memory and think about the wins that you've had in your life. Think about all the successes you've had in your life, right? No matter what has happened, if you've had a failure and you focus on the failure, you're going to continue to put yourself in that negative vibration. Use your memory to go back and think about the moments before the failure, right? The times that you had that were wonderful. So for instance, if we're talking about a relationship, for instance, right? And you were with somebody for 4 or 5 years, and at the end of that, it just didn't work out, didn't work out. Most people will focus on that part that didn't work out. They'll focus on it and they'll keep thinking about it. It'll put them in a negative place, and when in that negative place, they don't want to go out and try to get into a new relationship because they feel badly about the last one, and it keeps them there forever, and they say, you know what, I'm never going to do that again. You have to go back way before that failure and start thinking about the wonderful things, the times that you had, the wonderful things that you did, those feelings that were, that were caused by those wonderful times. Make yourself feel good so that your posture is different. When you're out and about, other people say, wow, this person's in a really good place, and they want to be attracted to you, and that's how you attract a new relationship into your life. If you're walking around and you're thinking about how bad it was, and your shoulders are drooped, and your head is down, and you're thinking about the pain, right? No one is going to be attracted to you. You'll never bring somebody else into your life. However, if you're thinking about the wonderful times you had, and you've got a good skip in your step, and you feel good about yourself, and you dress well, and you're apparently successful because you're feeling good about life, you attract people into your life, because like attracts like. Good attracts good. You know this, good things that we're attracted to. Whether it's good-looking people, good-looking cars, good-looking homes, good-looking anything, we're attracted to it. So you've got to be feeling good to have good things attracted to you. The next one is reason. This is our ability to think. Okay, most people don't spend any time thinking. They think they're thinking because they're going back and using their memory to go back and play old movies in their mind, but they're not really thinking. Using your reasoning faculty is where an idea comes into your consciousness, okay, and you start to reason with it. You start to take this idea, you connect it with another idea, and you take all these thoughts, you put them together, and you create something, right? A new idea, a new thing that can happen for you in your life. So it's composing thoughts and bringing them together and really spending some time getting quiet with yourself and allowing thoughts to come into your mind, putting them together, creating ideas that can change your life. Most people won't do that. You need to take time in the morning, in the evening, at some point during the day, maybe 2 or 3 times during your course of your day, and just get quiet with yourself and try not to think about anything. Just let the ideas come into your consciousness. Sometimes when we're on vacation and we're really relaxed after a couple of days, sort of getting everything out of your mind that's going on at home, all of a sudden ideas come to us, these wonderful thoughts. Why is that? It's because we finally relaxed. And when we're relaxed, ideas flow in, right? This is how it works. It's energy flowing to and through us. So when I'm relaxing for a couple of days, maybe on the beach or wherever I am, all of a sudden great ideas start to flow into my mind. I can ignore these, or I can use my reasoning faculty to see how I can put them together and create something in my life. So understanding this faculty of reason is important, very important. So our intellectual faculties are perception, will, imagination, memory, reason, and the final one is intuition. Okay, intuition. This is that nudge that you get. You know, a lot of people get this nudge or this inner voice and they sort of shrug it off, okay? But this is so important. That inner voice is so critical, right? It's those hunches that you're getting. You might be getting one right now that's telling you that studying this material is really going to change your life. It's going to change your business. It's going to change your relationships or your health. It's knowing that and going with it, right? When you have an inner voice and you blow that off, right, where's that coming from? It can be coming from whatever your higher power is, whatever your belief system is, the universe, God, whatever it is, okay, is telling you something and you're shrugging it off, something much bigger than you. Why would you do that? See, Wayne Dyer said it best. He said, if prayer is us talking to God, then intuition is God talking to us. And most people don't even listen. So whatever your God is, whatever your belief system is, think about that. When you have a voice that's coming in and it's nudging you to move forward or go in a certain direction or talk to this person and do a certain thing, you should act on it. It's incredibly powerful if you act on it. When you act on it, you'll be surprised at what could happen in your life. So it's really developing these intellectual faculties that's going to change your life. It's going to change your business, okay? You can develop these, they're mental muscles. And this program, the whole idea, everything that I'm sharing with you right now will help you develop your intellectual faculties so that you can take control of your emotional mind, okay? And you can take control of your life. Rather than living from the outside in, which most people do, their physical senses, pushing them around, you start living from the inside out and you start controlling the way your life goes. Okay, so I hope that these intellectual faculties are something that has really opened your eyes to the possibilities of what's possible for you in your life and in your business, starting to understand that what we think about comes about. So if you have a thought at the conscious level, make sure that you like that thought, and if you don't, reject the idea completely, okay? If you like it, allow it to come into your subconscious mind, start to get emotional about it. When you get emotional about it, you'll start to act. When you act, your results will begin to change, and everything will begin to change for you. I hope you enjoyed this session. Again, my name is Phil Ciccio. Thank you so much.